And good evening, everyone. Welcome aboard to the actual show. Welcome to episode 175 of New York Red Bull Discussion Group, the podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Garry Redmond. I'm not Cheryl Son. That's my mom. We'll explain that in a heartbeat. But we have a lot to discuss for what is arguably for once, a very happy weekend for all of them. Well, first of all, hope you guys spent all your time with your moms on Mother's Day. And, and I'm glad you guys think it was a perfect day for that all the way around. So let's talk about, what's going to happen in our show. So we're going to talk about Red Bull New York. They got a road win. First one since April. Okay, as they burned down Chicago Fire FC. Miguel and Lanre will actually give you the play-by-play. Meanwhile, Red Bull 2, they remain unbeaten. They knocked off Toronto FC. We'll give you the haps of what's going on. Their next game is versus NYCFC 2 at the campus as they put that streak literally to the test. Oh yeah, we didn't forget the baddies. We're gonna give those guys some love. They got a point and got tied up in knots with Boston Legacy FC. It was a frustrating point for the ladies. I mean, they were really trying to gift that win. Couldn't get it done. They're going on the road up to Seattle next Saturday. Of course, Lanre is basically going to talk about upcoming games. They're going to be having a very busy week. The New York Red Bull take on Columbus Crew on Wednesday. Then, on Saturday, it's New York Red Bull versus New York City FC, another installment of the Hudson River Derby. And because of that, speaking of the Hudson River Derby, we're giving away one free ticket to that game on Saturday. So if you log in with us right now, all you got to do is type hashtag RBNYVNYC in your comments for a chance to win that ticket. The winner is going to be announced at the end of the show. Once again, that's hashtag RBNYVNYC. We're going to remind everyone as the show goes along. And speaking of the live show, don't worry if you missed it, okay? Because you can always catch the recording on our YouTube channel or, of course, our home from the very beginning, Spotify.com. We upload our new episodes up there every Wednesday for your listening and watching pleasure. And we love to hear from you. Okay, we always do. We have any questions or comments about the podcast, about our guests, or anything else, don't hesitate to email us. Our email address, RBDG, the podcast, one word, at gmail.com. That's RBDG, the podcast, one word, at gmail.com. We always love to read those emails when you come in, even after our show concludes. So keep it coming, and everything else. We don't get to blow the horn this week because nobody won. We score 3 goals. City scores 3 goals. It's a tie. So for the third straight week, nobody wins the weekend. So that's the end of that. Now, if you're wondering why it says Sherilyn Son and not Garry Redmond, I'll explain very thusly. I'll explain the reason why is because Mother's Day. Got to get rid of that. Mother's Day was taking place on Sunday, right? So, as a tribute to all of our moms, this is sort of a tradition, sort of a tradition here at RBDG, the podcast. We rename our, to our first name to the first name of our moms, to give you a tribute. And speaking of which, here is the son of Grace and the son of Neri. Welcome aboard, boys. And of course, here are your hosts and everything else. Right now, if you probably wonder the reason why Miguel's got a few more gray hairs is because he had to watch his beloved Arsenal literally get out of there with the skin safe against West Ham. We all thought, done. I'm serious. It was like, done, right then and there. We're going to talk about that briefly. What was the first thing in your mind when that goal went in, man? Be honest. When that tying goal went in, what was the first thing in your mind? The goal that was. What was the first thing in your mind?
It ends right here, right now.
I mean, I'm sure most of you guys were like, okay, so this is how it ends. Damn. I mean, but then, right there. But then, the thing that was killing us, when we said this during the pre-show, right? It was almost like the ref didn't want to call that. He probably didn't see it, which I'll give him that, because it was a mosh pit in there. But on the further review, someone's arm was draped around the neck of the Arsenal goalkeeper. I mean, Whoa. I mean, they're trying to put a hammerlock on that brother, okay? Trying to drag him down and everything, and then, VAR, buzz, bzz, 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 bzz. Hey, you need to take a look at this, okay? No, you need to take a look at that. It almost seems to me, Miguel, that the official need to be convinced to take a look at this. And,
well, obviously, obviously he didn't see it in real time. But when the VAR official pleaded with him to go to the monitor and take a look.
Pleaded.
Yeah, please, do it. Go to the monitor, take a look. We think there's a clear and obvious error. And there was. Not only was there a guy with his arm, and he had his hand on his arm, there was another guy from behind holding on his arm as well. Because if there was none of that, the ball, he would have just gone, boom, ball would have gone to his hands, that would have been it, But they pulled his arms back, the ball went behind him, and then it took a innocuous bounce off William Saliba's knee. Went to the West Ham player, I forget his name, but that guy scores goals. And then he scored. He scored a goal, but thankfully,
got waved off.
There is VAR.
Imagine
the clear and obvious error was rectified. Listen, I love VAR. Thank you very much.
Especially with your team. How many times we've been victimized by that damn technology?
Terrible. It's terrible in England.
I mean,
I was straight to England.
That Arsenal has been the victim of like horrible calls.
The victim?
I mean, hey, okay. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's talk about let's talk about arguably, which was for all intents and purposes, and for once was a very good day, in Metroville. I mean, folks were for some reason. Folks were driven. Not even some reason. Okay, based on how the team was going, folks were thinking about was going to get run when we walked out of the club in Chicago, but. Bradley and company had other ideas. When you saw the final score, Lanre, first thing in your mind, please, when you saw the final score, he was like, what? Wait a minute. This thing, we're talking about the Chicago Fire. We're talking about the team with the third best offense. And we held these dudes to a goal? What happened? Did we catch these guys napping? I'm not taking anything away from Bradley and the boys. They played great. Okay. They went back to what worked. Go ahead.
The 4-1-4-1 seemed to really work really well. Eddie was really pulling the strings very well in midfield. Kate Cowell finally had a coming out game in a Red Bull uniform and not last play.
Not for a lack of trying. That ball he was busting it. He was from game one. He was like a demon possessed. But go on.
Jorge Calba, he's really making a late push for the Mexico World Cup squad on home soil. And it'll be really good to see him there. Dylan Nealis, man of the match performance, MLS Team of the Week.
Oh, you're all going to see it. You're all going to see it. But that save was sick. I mean, he wasn't there. That's a goal. It's that simple. Okay, if he wasn't there, that's a goal. Miguel, I know you had some misgivings about Bradley, how he's coaching the lineups and everything else. What's your thoughts on this, man? I mean, he went back to what finally worked, and were you thinking, finally, you actually listened to the fans, or the reinforcements that they were waiting for finally arrived? Your thoughts before we go into the match recap.
I'm happy that we got Che back playing. Rebel Cava, he was on point. He was pretty good, but.
Stop putting that man on the right side. He'll score all the things. You notice he scores at the same spot, right? So it's like, stop putting that man over there. Don't leave him alone over there, okay?
You know what? I will say about him that you don't know what you're going to get.
Right.
Game by game, okay? And then, it was strange. It was like that. It was like, what the hell is going? Wait.
Yeah, you faded out there for we can get out for a little bit.
Yeah, so then I was thinking, what the hell is going on here? You know, because this team, you know what, up to now, and maybe it's because of the tactics, maybe it's because of the lineup, the changes that players coming back. You know, Rebel Kaba, like game by game, you don't know what you're going to get. You know, but it seems like this team is like Jekyll and Hyde. You don't know what you're going to get. Okay.
Well,
I'll take that if we can get into the playoffs.
I mean, I said that their main challenge was consistency, right? Can they able to sustain it? It's not simple. No one is saying that what it is, especially when you have generally a young crew. But you got to take the team for what it is right now. I know everyone's like, come on, Gary, you got to give them. I am giving them something, okay? But the reinforcements are coming. The guys are getting more healthy and everything, and then we're going to start seeing what this team is all about. Okay, I'm not making any excuses, and no one should. Okay, but it's very hard to expect results with almost half a team. Most of the guys are injured. So here is the match recap, and we're going to talk about the ramifications of it shortly after.
Show on the road from Chicago this Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the soccer moms out there, including our own. The final ball was not, but Saletros will run it down. Zinkernagel with Kuipers, and Bamba stabs it in! But the flag comes up, even though the Soldier Field faithful erupts. Tim Parker's position just a shade behind.
The call in case they needed to make a change. You'd think they at least want to get to halftime now in the 44th minute of the match if they decide to make a sub or a change.
Bamba through Parker, and Zinkernagel spears it at Horvath.
From Chicago has been down that right-hand side, and just great little cushion there from Bamba to bring it down and lay it off.
Mehmeti. Forsberg. Ruvalcaba!
Play all day long, but it's the patience here, not the pressure. The pressure doesn't come quick enough. Forsberg
with this young group, because they knew they were going to probably take their licks at some point. Wanting to work around it with Kyle bursting in!
Set up his teammates. This time he makes the right run at the right time. Doncourt releases there, a couple nice touches across the grain into the traffic.
Bring it back along for Chicago. Davila. It's that long range, that step, critical to keeping it alive. Flight across for Kuipers. Ugo Kuipers pumps one off Horvath. And Parker dusts it off. Parker. Good layoff, Doncourt. Berggren. Cowell, the rebound came off of Brady and nicked over. Dean from Saletros. Ditejan, the South African. Look at this move! Oh my goodness, what a clearance!
Craig Berhalter telling us, who's so electric, 1v1. Look at that wide space challenge all the way to central. And he's curling that to the side netting on the back post.
That's a sloppy play toward Waterman. Berggren keeps his foot on the gas. Mehmeti and Berggren team up on Davila, and Brady is out with a cartwheel around him by Mehmeti.
Second week in a row, Chris Brady's faced a penalty. This one, as Chris Brady forced off his line.
Alan Chapman will head to the monitor for a look to see if Chris Brady did indeed foul Andre Mehmeti, setting up a Red Bull potential penalty.
Mehmeti still had a chance to make a play on it after Brady had come off his line. Could he have gotten to the next one if he hadn't been taken down with the contact there. It does.
Alan Chapman thinks so. Here's the call.
After review, Chicago number 1 trips the Red Bull player. Foul decision. It's a penalty.
A goal this season. It was back in March 17 a year ago. Stands to face Brady. Rifles it in.
He comes off his line and tries to make a play. Instead, call reverse. Choupo-Moting steps to the spot and makes no.
Orahel shown really well, especially playing a lot of minutes last season, but he's learning now. Dita Zane and Kuipers confoos it. It's in.
Just continuing on with force. Right by Dylan Nealis, who's been fantastic all day long. And Horvath can't make the second save.
Young Bulls this and Young Bulls that. There have been a lot of those plays today. Cowell, Volkaba, influential action, but there's still room for the old guard of New York who came in along that back line. And Choupo-Moting to help provide the third goal.
Plus MLS assists as a Red Bull, in a Red Bull career. Mehmedi, he got his 4th assist of the season. He's tied with RSL Xavier Gozo for second most assists in ranking players who are 21 years of age and younger, guys. Mehmedi ranks tied for the second most assists for a player 18 years and younger in his first 12 matches in the season in MLS history. Cowell, congratulations. He's on the deck now. He got his first goal of the season as a member of the Red Bulls, but it was also the 11th of his MLS career. Doncor tallied his 4th assist. Excuse me? Only as 11th of his entire career. Remember, he wasn't here very long. Went to Mexico, came back.
Okay, true.
Because of that, only 11 goals. Doncor tallied his 4th assist of the season, his 8th of his MLS career. He's now contributed 4 goal contributions in his last 4 MLS matches. Okay, let's talk about Doncor for just 1 second. A lot of folks have really... Yeah, go ahead, Miguel.
To say something. After review,
right,
those 2 words are quickly becoming my favorite words in the English language. Thank you very much.
Here we go. Knock it off. Okay, moving.
He's winning a Premier League title based off of VAR. It's just that's a new level of complete shamelessness.
All right.
Nobody.
All right. You're both pretty. Knock it off, boys. We got a show to do. You too. We got a show to do. I mean, but let's talk about Doncor. But seriously, let's talk about Doncor for 1 second, because a lot of people in the group, okay, they didn't. I'm not saying they necessarily targeted this guy, but they really don't think that this guy is first team material. What are your thoughts on that? I'm sure you've read the posts on this subject.
I think a lot of people in that group, they don't always have the most informed opinions, I have to say, especially when they're running off of fumes and hot takes. I have to say, I'm saying this very, very diplomatically.
Go ahead. Don't let that stop you.
But, look, it's clear that Doncor's had talent. He's a very, very amazing dribbler. Does he need to make the right read more often? Yes. But he's very much, a work in progress. He's improved a lot, especially to start this season, and I'm happy with his progress. That pass to Cowell through ball was very, very cutting, and I want to see more of that from him. He's such a great ball carrier, and now he's starting to improve as a ball passer. And I'm really proud for my young Ghanaian king.
All right.
Yeah, as a matter of
Miguel, yeah, what's your thoughts on this, Miguel? Go ahead, man.
fact, listen, Wiki Carmona, Doncor. Okay, come on. The choice is obvious, Garry. Okay, come on.
I mean,
The dude scored 3 goals against us. As Montreal swept us in the regular season.
Here's the,
agree with you.
I'm going to push back on that because most of the people in the group want him off the team. Okay, so when they finally get him off the team, what does he do against us? When he normally doesn't do with the team that he was supposed to be playing on, he scores goals. Okay, so it just goes to show you that thank goodness that the club, I'm saying to myself, you know what, that's going to come back to bite us, and it came back to bite us. And that's basically, it. And of course, my man Billy, he hits the nail on the head like a man with a hammer. Doncor, Forsberg, and Mendes elite trio. Doncor's probably a year or two being MLS first 11. Doncor dribbles a little bit too much, to your point, Lanre. So, okay, dribbles a little bit, but he's still 22 and improving. Okay. The thing that that highlights to me, and this is what John Amaral pointed out, that the result was great, but it could have been better. I mean, he's one of those fans that has a very critical eye on things, and he's right on the money about that. But as I said to both of them, and Eugenie, excuse me, I didn't mean to mispronounce your name, Yuri, but you're talking about an incomplete team that's with a coach that's still learning on the job. Remember, this is first year in this level. Not first year as a coach, but definitely first year in this level. So there's going to be some growing pains all over, okay? Would they be better against a veteran coach? I don't know. And, and respectfully to you two, we don't know either. However, okay, the formula is working. Okay, at least for that day. Do I like him to be a little bit more consistent with arguably there's going to be some there's arguably going to be some reinforcements down the road. Yeah, that would be great to hear that. But what he's going to do with those added pieces, we'll see. That's all we can do. So right now they're out of the dungeon of place. So right now in 8th or 7th, last I checked. So they found 9th. Thank you. They moved back down because everybody above them won. So they pushed them down. So they pushed them down. So hey, at least they're not on the left anymore. They're climbing up the table a little bit. So they're holding on to the last piece of the playoff pie before it's all said and done. Hopefully they'll be able to have, that's what I said about repercussions, because that win launched them up, up a couple of points, in the table, which is good. Now you got to climb. This week it's going to be, it's going to be good football, bad football. We'll talk about that after the break. But meanwhile, some other games took place up in Toronto, or in this case, York Lions Stadium. That's the name of the team. I looked it up in Toronto. Toronto scored a goal. Red Bull 2 scored twice. And they remain undefeated. Worth in the 65th minute. Rojas in the 78th. Kerr came in and got a goal late, but what are you going to do? Killed the clean sheet. This puts the Red Bull 2 squad literally nearly at the top of the table in the Eastern Conference of the MLS Next Pro. They are still undefeated going into this weekend's game versus New York City FC 2. So, when you're done screaming your lungs out on Saturday, take a break and go to the campus and support the kids on Sunday evening. I don't get that, why most of the time they play their games on Sunday night, but I digress. They should be really moving it on Friday. At least I can actually get to the games, but I'm going to have to rent a car and come out there because I certainly will be there. The team is basically following the blueprint, Lanre, from last year, and they haven't missed a beat. Does that impress you or don't? Go ahead, man.
It's a really good start to the title defense so far, staying unbeaten, staying on course. They haven't skipped a beat, even with, the manager rising up to the ranks of the senior team. It's impressive for sure. Just want to see them keep it up and, keep ascending.
Okay. Miguel, you and I have watched this team. We have watched many players grow from that program onto the first team and beyond. It seems to me that this is a stronger team than last year. Of course, everyone who's listening into the broadcast, feel free to disagree. This is what we do here. We discuss, we debate. Feel free to disagree. But, it seems to me that they're a little stronger from last year. And it just removed maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. Yeah. And they're undefeated.
They removed, at least 2 of their very main guys, if not 3. Okay? Several players have been making appearances with the senior team. So I don't know if they can replicate what they did last year, Garry. Okay? They're in first place, and then you got to go through the playoffs. And you got to run that gauntlet, I've yet to go to watch one of their games, but I'll be interested to see if it's still a defense optional side.
Or like last year, because it had so much firepower up front.
Right. Because they were scoring 4 goals a game, if not more.
Blowing guys out of the club,
yeah. They were
yeah, I mean,
in the back, But I get it. It's the style that they play. The back line's up to it goes up to the midfield line. Okay. And a lot of times they leave themselves exposed in the back, and that's how Red Bull wants to play.
Yeah.
All their teams. So,
we ain't worried about that. We worry more about scoring than playing defense. Usually they have sometimes that leads up into lopsided wins or very debilitating defeats, especially during playoff time. But here you go. So that's yeah, they'll be taking that undefeated streak on Sunday night versus NYCFC to go see the kids. Okay, it should be a fun evening for everybody. Hopefully, weather will cooperate because we're gonna dodge through all these rainstorms on Wednesday night. Yeah, I gotta be there, rain or shine. That's my job. But you guys really need to. See how these kids' lives make, and basically judge it for yourself. If you don't believe me, speak to John Amaral. He's basically the authority when it comes to New York Red Bulls too, and he'll tell you the players and why you should shine and why they don't. Meanwhile, okay.
Let me ask you something, because I don't forget. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Who's the coach now at Red Bull 2? Is it
BWP? No. DWP is one of the assistant coaches. Yeah, he's one of the assistant coaches. The head coach, I'll get his name in just about a minute. Just a second. Oops. Here we go. Oh, great. I just had it right. I had my notes right in front of me. I apologize, everyone. Sorry about that. Dominic Wohlert. Wohlert. Dominic. And he's the new head man there. He's been coaching in Europe for quite some time, and he was an assistant coach for the first team in New York Red Bull. And he just simply slided down, when the position became available. He's the perfect, obviously he's the perfect man, to take over, from Bradley, because he is very versed in the Red Bull way, guys. So he knows how to run that system, and that's why you're seeing it, not miss a beat in that area, and naturally so. Gotham FC, remember them? Okay, they took on one of the newest teams in the NWSL. That's the Boston Legacy, and they couldn't separate themselves. Shaw in the 37th minute, and Cano 3 minutes later, and that's all she wrote. That's it. Okay, that's all. That game ended 1-1, and this was a frustrating tie because my girlfriend went out there with some friends out there, and folks were not happy, guys. Folks were seriously not happy. They They fought all day. They came dangerously close to winning it, basically in a minute, but it hit the post, hit the post and everything else. Jaden Shaw, she scored her 20th career NWSL season goal. She became the second youngest player in league history behind Olivia Montre to reach that milestone. Kid can score. She also recorded a goal and assist in 3 consecutive matches, matching the longest such streak in her career. She's also scored in each of her first 3 NWSL appearances. No wonder this kid features in the, on the USA team. They love her. Obviously, this girl's got a nose for, definitely has a nose for goal. Gotham FC saw a shutout streak end. That was it. They had a shutout streak at 340 minutes, which was the second longest streak in club history and the longest since 2013. Defender Tima Davidson played the full 90 minutes for the first time since March 23rd, 2025. Remember, Miguel, she was hurt last year. So now she's finally played her way into fitness. Good for her. Okay. Esther Guns. Okay.
I saw some post where they showed the New York City mayor, Mr. Mandani.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
The Gotham supporters section. So
Respect.
I'm wondering if he's trying to negotiate some deal where they go play in New York City. Weren't they going to play a game there or something? They
are. They're going to play in Citi Field against the Washington Spirit. They're going to play the game here, and that's probably a litmus test of what we've been hearing some rumblings about, that they were going to be moving over to Queens permanently.
Got it. And by the way, Mr. Mandani and another
rumblings. By the way, there's nothing confirmed.
Oh, I thought you were looking Mandani for other reasons, not because all right.
This is not your night, Lanre. But don't worry. It seems that it seems that
sucks. But hey, the Knicks got me. Jalen Brunson got me. Cat got me. Deuce McBride got me. I met him a couple months ago, by the way. Shout out to him. The Knicks got me. Mitchell Robinson got me. They got me. OG Anunoby got me.
Call it right now. Are the Knicks going to become champions this season?
Let's hold that thought for just 1 second. I gotta get back.
It's a yes or no.
Hold that thought for just 1 second. I got to get past this. Mitch Purse, of course, played 73 minutes, moving to 4,992 career NWSL season minutes with Gotham FC. She's going to retire a legend. Defender Emily Sonnet made the 4th substitute appearance on a 173-game regular season career. She played 25 minutes, moving to 4,972 in the regular season. They are going to Seattle when it's all said and done. They're going on the road trip there to take on the Reign. That's REIGN for those people, not RAIN, but same thing. Okay. Now, it's going to be, it's going to be one of those things where it was a very good weekend for everyone for Mother's Day, including Philadelphia Sixers team being assassinated and John being assassinated. And oh, by the way, Lanre, looks like John Admiral's got your back. So there's this. Looks like John got you. Also got you. Now, the reason why we're pretty excited because this show is ticket giveaway night. So we're giving away, boys and girls, 1 free ticket to the NYCFC game on Saturday. All you have to do is type hashtag RBNYVNYC in your comments. You just have to do it just once. Okay, that's hashtag RBNYVNYC. We will announce the winner toward the end of the show. So please do. Just like that. You just type it in, and it instantly records, and we're going to do the giveaway right then and there. So all is well in Metroville. Our home team won, junior team won, girls got a point. But things are going to get a little crazy and then nuts on Wednesday night. Columbus comes to town. The team that we still hate, one of the original 10, and then things get kicked up a notch on Saturday night when a bunch of guys from, Bronx/Queens come to visit. The last time they were in the Cathedral, we got unceremoniously kicked out of the U.S. Open Cup because we can't defend the set piece. Lanre with the story of both Columbus SC and NYC FC after the break. But first, final scores of, final scores of, give me a minute, folks. We got some technical difficulties. Yes, we do.
I tried to make comments about how the hater in me needs OKC to collapse, and it wouldn't let me post. I think Mr. Silva's reading these comments, man. They want to get the black SUVs off for me, man. It's over. It's over.
Don't do that.
It's over. It's over.
Don't do that. Hang up for 1 second. What the heck happened to our? What the hell? So that so what we're gonna do is when we return in about 30 minutes, Lanre will talk about the upcoming games on our schedule. See you back here. We have to apologize. That's a very wrong graphic. That's what happens when your server fails at the very moment when you're supposed to load it. But let's talk about Columbus coming on Wednesday. That game will take place. Much. We're going to talk about Columbus. They're going to come in on Wednesday night. Now, of course, it's going to kick off at 7:45 as the usual time. Midweek games suck. They really do, because a lot of people are basically coming home from work and the whole 9 yards. But even still, okay, that's going to be a game they have to win. This is a long-standing rivalry between these two teams. Okay, all-time regular season, 33, 36, and 14. At Harrison, we got the edge, 23, 15, and 7. This is their 98th all-time meeting. The last time we had beaten Columbus at the Cathedral was way back in March in 2018. Jeez, it's been a while. Okay, it's really the regular season. It's been a while. So last I looked, Columbus was one of those teams that, Lanre, that every year, right, they look like they're dangerous to win the East, and then since they won their last championship, something happened. When arguably one of the greatest midfielders that ever laced up a pair of boots in Major League Soccer walked off the stage in retirement, it's been a mess. It's been a mess. Go ahead, man. You got the floor.
Yeah, Darlington Nagbe really was the glue who held everything together for Columbus. Since he retired a couple years ago, they have clearly not been the same team. I mean, kind of exemplified by the fact that we beat them we swept them in the playoffs in 2024 on the road to another MLS Cup final appearance, unsuccessful in Los Angeles, of course. Now, since then, things have not really been like the greatest for them. They have Max Arfston, who's a left back. He's a U.S. national teamer. Some may say he's ahead of J.M. Tolkien, our old buddy. I don't think he should be, but I mean the guy's solid. The kid is solid. Can't lie. There's also Wessam Abu Ali, the Palestinian striker they have. Unfortunately, he's injured. I believe he tore his ACL. He had a really, really good start to the season for them. So they've been missing him. Yeah, right.
He was on fire. I mean, he was torching up the defenses. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big miss.
Huge miss. Patrick Schulte, the goalkeeper, he's also a U.S. MNTer. He does look set to be one of the backups for, I'm guessing, Matt Freese at the World Cup. Now, personally, I prefer Schulte over Freese, although it's probably no secret as to why when you look at the clubs they play for. They also signed Portugal veteran and Euro. I had to say that. I don't like Smurf raps on my national team.
All right. But go on.
Yeah, but they also signed. Interestingly enough, they signed Portuguese midfield veteran and Euro 2016 winner Andre Gomes from Lille this winter. And he's been scoring for them. He's had a good 6 appearances or so. He's been making his way back from injuries, and he seems to be a good fit in the middle of the park for them. This isn't the same Columbus team as years prior. Of course, this isn't the same. They don't have the same danger. They don't strike the same fear in your hearts. But make no mistake, this is still a good team that on their day, even though they're struggling right now, on their day, they can still really make things shake. And they are not an opponent the Red Bull should ever take lightly wherever they're playing, home or away.
Now, Miguel, you've seen Columbus here and there. You've seen our midfielders. You've seen their midfielders. They got a chance for this, or is this going to be one of those matches where one mistake and they blow it? I mean, do you see it going that way, or is this going to be a tight match, or is it going to be something more wide open? Your thoughts, man?
No, I feel that it's going to be a tight match. We're at home, but let me just tell you something. I watched Columbus once this season, and they look like a pretty strong team to me. Okay, I don't know how well they're going to match up, against us at home. But as I said before, this team is like Jekyll and Hyde, Garry. What are we going to get? That's what I'm wondering. So I'm not confident that we're going to win this game, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. My feeling on this is that this is one of those matches. This is a home stand that they have to have. Okay, because we all remembered how they got booed off the field when they first were FC Dallas. As a club, to their pride, they don't want this to happen again. Okay, to put up such a stinker where the fans revolt against you. So they all huddled down together and said, "Okay, we gotta tighten up." So hence, what happened in Chicago? They went backward, worked. Everything is fine. I expect the same on Wednesday night. It's going to be the weather is not going to be not so nice. It's going to rain and things like that, but they're footballers. This is exactly what they do. So while I expect things to turn around at that point, at the same time, I agree with you, Miguel, because what we've been saying since training camp, consistency. They're heckling, they're good in one day, they're bad the next. We're going to have to find out, if this is going to be the good Red Bull or the bad Red Bull. Of course, the next thing, once they get done on Wednesday night, Saturday, as we all know, is the main event. And that, of course, is NYCFC versus Red Bull on Saturday night, 7:45. And for all intents and purposes, this started out as a lopsided rivalry, but the blue team has been basically catching up and basically almost eclipsing them. Head-to-head on the regular season, 11-12-4. At Harrison, it's a little different, 12-5-2. This is their 34th all-time meeting. Last time they won was in May 13, 2023. 1-0 was the final score. And for those of you listening, everybody, in the panel and everybody else, bonus points if you can remember who scored that goal. That lone goal on that day. I'll give you all a hint. He was born and raised in the Bronx.
Omir Fernandez.
There you go. I had to give you that one little hint. He hated NYW. I mean, if there's one team this kid loved to score in Miguel, was NYCFC. They're probably wondering, how did we let this dude loose? And we're still wondering as they cut him, and he's doing his thing over in Colorado. I'm so upset the fact that they cut this guy loose because he was a terror in the midfield. But here, but say here again. Yeah, but
Yeah, well, you know what, Gary, I've thought about this stuff. Like over the years, they've let some pretty good players that came up from the academy.
Tell me about it.
Derek Etienne, players like that,
who went out and got a cup,
right?
In Columbus.
But the thing is, I think there's some of these guys that when they play for Red Bull, they're not as good at playing the system.
I knew you were going to come to that, and I have to agree. Okay.
Yeah.
They go
to other teams.
They flourish.
They're able to play football. Okay.
They flourish.
Right.
They flourish. I can't disagree with that. Okay. Right. I can't disagree with it. Red Bull has this thing that this is how we are going to play.
Right.
Like it or not, win, lose, or draw. Okay. If there was another organization with a different thinking, of course you would see things differently. But I would look at the track record of this organization where before the previous owner didn't win any trophies. Okay. Aside from the La Manga Cup, which a lot of people still don't know what the hell that is, but we won it. Okay. I would go get their track record.
Emirates Cup.
Yeah, that too. But
under Red Bull, though.
Yeah, but
right, under Red Bull.
Under Red Bull. But we won. I mean, under Red Bull, whatever. I mean, I know you have a major league disdain for for supporter shields. It all means that you finished first. You finished first in the regular season. That's all it means, okay? It's like the President's Trophy in NHL. Nobody cares about that. And, and I'll give you that. But it's a trophy. So,
no one wants to count it for us. When Cincinnati started winning it, everybody wants to count it and respect it then. Like, get out of my face. Get out of my face.
Other clubs...
They want to hate New York. They do this with the Knicks. They do this with us. They do this with the Giants and Jets. They do this with the Mets. They hate New York. They hate New York, bro. And New Jersey is an extension.
The size of the city, okay, sometimes we deserve that hate. If they're not hating us, they're hating LA. Okay? So
I don't think we deserve it.
Okay, think about that for a second. If they're not hating us, they're hating LA, they're hating Chicago. I know they ain't hating Philly because I don't think there's anything to hate in Philly. Never mind all that.
And their fans are stupid.
Okay.
Like,
let's talk about NYC. Okay.
Online.
Okay.
Online.
All right, let's talk about
NYC. FCC online.
You're coming with all the smoke today. Let's talk about NYCFC and why this damn team. Not only they don't scare me, they annoy me. It seems that they play some of their best games against us, and it doesn't matter if they do it in the Bronx, doesn't matter if they do it in Queens, doesn't matter if they do it in Harrison. Every time they make me like, okay, what kind of disaster film am I going to be watching today? Since we were unceremoniously kicked out of and deservedly so, kicked out of the U.S. Open Cup because we simply can't defend the damn set piece.
Weeks ago.
Okay. I mean, the set piece is, we're going to be facing these guys, in yet another installment with their rival fans and everybody else filling the place. It's going to be fun. I mean, rivalry games are always like that. But based on what we saw on Saturday, do they have a chance to do something they haven't done in over, what's it now, 3 seasons? Beat them at home.
Yeah, there's a chance. There's definitely a chance. But for the love of God, just defend. Defend set pieces. Defend them with your lives. Actually stay compact at the back. Move the ball across the midfield. Get it up to the wingers with Acaldo and Cowell. And then, good things should happen. But, they let NYCFC dictate the tempo. And, if if we don't stamp our own authority on the game, then we're liable to
Don't forget,
we'll score another hat trick, man.
Yeah, don't forget. I mean, the last time they played NYC, they got exposed by hitting long balls. Long balls, long balls, long balls. And you got Maxi Morales still going on strong. That old man in the middle of the park, still stringing passes, still causing issues. Okay,
to the eyes.
You know, I mean, causing issues and whatnot. Miguel, you've seen the disaster film that took place in the U.S. Open Cup. Look, okay, let's be honest, okay? I'm beginning to hate this series because I'm not saying because NYCFC is supposed to be beatable. That's not the point here. But you figured that this team would step up against them, and so far we haven't seen that. Is that a concern to you?
Yeah, every team is a concern to me, Garry. Even if it's a team that's all the way at the bottom of the standings, okay? You don't know what Red Bull team is going to show up on a game-by-game basis, okay? And I think this has to do with just a lot of the young guys that we have, that they're relying upon, okay? Game after game, okay? You don't know what they're going to do because they're young players. If it's one thing that young players lack is consistency. Okay, so I would imagine there is a chance that we're going to beat NYCFC if these guys are up for it. Okay, but NYCFC has a really good team, and it's not like okay, so we're playing home, but NYCFC's played so many games at Red Bull Arena.
They know that place. They own that place to almost a degree.
So
both teams, okay, I wouldn't call these guys world beaters. Both teams, okay, right now, they've only won one game out of 5. Okay, that's it. Okay, Red Bull New York,
yes,
in the league, one out of 5, not exactly world beaters. Okay, so it pains to listen that but they're in 7th place, we're in 9th. But there are so many teams right now. From looking at the standings, there's 1, 2, 3. Everyone's literally 1 or 2 points away. A win or 2 away from leapfrogging everybody being top 4. That's how tight things are right now in the Eastern Conference. That's why I said that this homestand would bode well if they can able to win both games at home, do the right thing that you're supposed to do, which when you have enemy teams coming in your camp and everything else, this is the time for them to do it. I mean, so this is where it goes from now. So before we get to the drawing to give away the ticket for the NYCFC game, let's talk about predictions, starting with Columbus versus New York. Lanre, what do you see where that game's going, how that game is going to be when the final score is all said and done?
1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Okay, I will go with that, but 2-2. Okay, I'm still not. Okay, I'm still not. I'm still not sold on the defense yet. It's almost like they find. It all depends if Chi starts. It all depends if Bazan starts. I don't think that's going to happen. They still need more seasoning. But bringing Chi back online helps. Okay, but we'll see you still need a left back. Hate to say this, but you still need a left back. Miguel, what do you say in that game?
Yeah, I'm going to go with your prediction as well, 2-2.
Okay. According to my man, Nicholas, Smurfs got a demanding schedule. They got Charlotte Wednesday night. Good luck with that. And then they got Red Bull on Saturday. We got Columbus and Open Cup and then Nashville. They got a really, really tough, schedule. But they're going to get beat up a little bit with Charlotte. Charlotte likes to play fast. They like to play physical. So let's see if they can able to do us a favor while we got our hands full for folks from Ohio 010. speaking of Saturday, of course, this is NYCFC versus the Red Bulls. I'm going to go out on a limb and do something that I'm probably going to be kicked at in the teeth. I'm going to say a 3-1 win. Call it a hunch. But payback is a huge motivator after you embarrassed yourselves and got embarrassed at home. I know the Smurfs are a good team. I know they are. And I'm not ruling them out in the slightest, especially you got Max and Morales patrolling in, and you got guys up front that can bang them in at will. And of course you have a goaltender, Freeze, who stops everything in front of him. So despite that, I think the Red Bulls are going to get their shots. I think they're going to get their goals. Whether they play some defense behind it, that's another story. So while I'm thinking there's going to be a track meet up and down the pitch, I'm seeing this a win. Miguel, what do you see?
I'm forecasting a 3-1 Red Bull loss.
Okay, I can see that happening as well. You got the last word, Lanre. What do you say there?
I'm going to be the middleman here and say 2-2 draw.
Ooh, you're playing it safe. The bomb.
Yeah.
Playing it safe. Playing it safe. So now we get, of course, to the fun part of our show. Like you said, we are giving away one free ticket for Saturday's game. All you guys had to do was this. All you have to do is to simply type hashtag RBNY. The NYC in your comments for a chance to win. You can only do that one time. If you do it multiple times, it's going to cancel it out. It's going to go only for the first one. You go with the entry. So that's RBNY versus, and we're going to give you guys one last chance before we.
I think we have our winner, Garry.
I mean, there's only 2 people that did this. You're going to be, oh man, this is going to be sad. Right, I'm looking at the entries. It's just 2 people. This may not work very well. Hope anyone. But before we go, we're gonna give a anniversary shout out to Tom Poffin and his lovely wife. They're celebrating their 30th. We're going back up. Whoop, whoop. He's actually. 35th. Yep, this is 35th anniversary. Happy anniversary to you too. My heart melts.
Tom also had knee replacement surgery last week.
Yeah, I heard he's doing well. We don't. We're not in that future where unfortunately we're using prosthetics. Imagine us being bionic and everything else. John Amaral saying beat Columbus, lose to the Blue Guys. Okay. Nicholas is saying beat Columbus, draw versus Smurgs. Okay. Smurfs, whatever the case may be. Okay, this is going to be a problem because I'm looking through all the chats and only 2 of you put in the hashtag. Unfortunately, we need 4 or more, okay, in order for this to work. Okay. What I will do, okay, this is what we will do because I want to give away this ticket, but the system won't work in this unless there's just more than 2.
Stefan was first. Okay.
Yeah. You know what? That's exactly what we're going to do. That's exactly what we're going to do. First one to put in there wins it. So, Stefan, the ticket is yours, man. All you do me a favor, send me your full name and, of course, your email address to, RBDG, the podcast at gmail.com. And I'll send you the ticket over, tonight. RBDG, the podcast, one word, at gmail.com. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this a lot, going in, so that we can give everybody advance warning, so there'll be more people that can able to join because we want people to actually win this. So, episode 175 is in the can. Looks like Lanre. Looks like my man dropped out of sight. Poor guy. Damn. So that's kind of rough. I mean, maybe you got him and too much. Of course, nope, he's back.
Oh, yeah, cool.
There you go. You almost missed the sign off, man. So
I don't know what happened.
almost missed the sign off. So next week, Nicholas Llanos and of course our good friend Mark Coates will be back to talk about the tale that was for the last 2 games, 3 actually, since I'm going to physically be there at the campus. I hope you guys can join me. Go ahead, my man.
The coach, another gunner. Thank you.
And you get the coach another gunner. Well, this is going to be
one more time. I swear.
Who does Arsenal play Saturday? Or is it?
Relegated Burnley, I think. Yes.
Burnley, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a win. But
please.
I mean, there's something about facing teams that got nothing to lose. There's somebody got nothing to lose. Okay, except beat your squad. I mean, that's going to hurt. But
and the next week after that, they play Crystal Palace. And more than likely, they're going to rest all their players.
Right.
Because they're in the Conference League final like 3 days later.
Yep.
Okay, so,
Stefan, don't forget to send me your name and your email address on the email message just mentioned. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, of course, on the discussion group, and I'll take care of you then. But for everyone else, thank you guys so much for joining us and hanging out with us for the last hour. We will see you guys next week. Until then, boys and girls, good night and goodbye for now.